Welcome to episode 2 of Sauce Talk. I'm your host JJ, and I'm going to talk to you about yet another tomato sauce. Before I do though, I want to address the overwhelming response I got to the first episode. I got a ton of fan mail, and I want to answer a question that I got repeatedly. Alright, dear JJ, love the show. Quick question though. Why does it appear you're wearing a woman's kimono? Fantastic question. Now let's talk about this week's sauce. It is Francesco Rinaldi Garden Combo. This is a very common brand, very inexpensive brand. Usually you're going to find it at stores for maybe $1.25, $1.50. It used to be about $1, fairly frequently on sale, but with the economy, things go up. Is it worth it? Let's find out. Right off the bat, let me point out the elephant in the room. It used to come in a glass jar that has been replaced by a plastic jar in the name of recyclability for them, but I would also say cost cutting, which is fine. I'm not going to knock it. Hunt's came in a metal can, which affected the flavor. That is not a factor in this variety. Now, Garden Combo has its pluses and minuses, but let me talk about the texture first. This has a bit of a chunky texture, which I appreciate. I like something that lets you know you're eating tomatoes, and I think it really is nice on the pasta and has a lot of good qualities in that way. I'm not a big fan of carrots, so of course, being the Garden Combo variety, there are some carrots in there. I'm not going to knock it too hard because that's just a taste thing, and that's really not suited to my taste, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not a deal breaker, shall we say. But I can also say it has a sweetness to it, which I think they went overboard with. In some varieties, you'll have just enough sweetness, enough sugar in there to counteract any bitterness, any unpleasantness from the cooking process of the tomatoes. But this goes overboard. This overwhelms you with the sugar. And that's a real downer. It does tend to have a bit more of a fresh flavor than some of the other lower end pasta sauces. So I will give it that. And it's very easily found. There are a lot of varieties. I recall liking it more than I did on this most recent investigation. So maybe the Garden Combo doesn't sit well with me for some reason. And I'm not saying it was that bad, but I think there are better varieties out there. So, again, scoring time. To remind you all, we score on a 5 spaghetti scale. Where does this land? Let's find out. With all the pros and cons that I gave you, I'm not going to say that this is the worst variety you can find on the shelf. Far from it, actually. If you're in a pinch, it's pretty good. Well, maybe I'm being generous with that, but it's okay. So that's why I'm giving it 2 out of 5 spaghettis. If you have any questions, if you have any thoughts on this particular brand, this variety, please give me a message. LesserOfTwoEquals@gmail.com, or just leave a comment in the video. This is going to be on some social media, so comment there. I don't care. Give us a follow. There's a lot more to come. There are millions of pasta sauce varieties, and I plan on getting to some of them as I see fit, at no fixed schedule, whenever I am bored. Stay saucy.